Shalom, brothers and sisters in Yahuwah Elohim, and welcome to our next adventure in the Book of Jasher. Hope everybody's having a good week. We're getting close to Shabbat, gang. So, if you make yourselves comfortable, get something to drink, and we'll get started this evening. If you've got a Dead Sea Scrolls book or an apocryphal book, go ahead and grab it, and we'll be doing chapters 73, 74, and 75 tonight in the Book of Jasher. Okay? So, we'll go ahead and get started this evening. Alright, gang. Let's see here. There it is. Okay. Alrighty then. The Book of Jasher, chapter 73. In the 55th year of the reign of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that is, in the 157th year of the Israelites going down into Egypt, Moses reigned in Cush. Moses was 27 years old when he began to reign over Cush, and 40 years he did reign. And the Elohim granted Moses favor and grace in the eyes of all the children of Cush. The children of Cush loved him greatly, so Moses was favored by the Elohim and by men. In the seventh day of his reign, all the children of Cush assembled and came before Moses and bowed down to him on the ground. And all the children spoke together in the presence of the king, saying, "Give us counsel, that we may see what is to be done to the city. For it is now 9 years that we have been besieged round about the city, and have not seen our children and our wives." So the king answered them, saying, "If you will listen to my voice in all that I shall command you, then the Elohim will give the city into our hands, and we shall subdue it. For if we fight with them, as in the former battle which we had with them before the death of Kikianus, many of us will fall down wounded as before. Now therefore hear this counsel for you in this matter. If you will listen to my voice, then will the city be delivered into our hands." So all the forces answered the king, saying, "All that our Lord shall command, that we will do." And Moses said to them, "Pass through and proclaim a voice in the whole camp to all the people, saying, 'Thus says the king, go into the forest, and bring with you of the young ones of the stork, each man a young one in his hand. And any person disobeying the word of the king, who shall not bring his young one, shall die, and the king will take all belonging to him. And when you bring them, they shall be your keeping. You shall rear them until they grow up, and you shall teach them to strike their prey, as is the way of the young one of the hawk.'" So I guess that a stork is a hawk. So all the children of Cush heard the words of Moses, and they rose up and caused announcement to be issued throughout the camp, saying, "To you, all the children of Cush, the king's order is that you all go together to the forest and catch there the young stork, each man his young one in his hand, and you shall bring them home. Any person violating the order of the king shall die, and the king will take all that belongs to him." And all the people did so, and they went out to the wood, and they climbed the fir trees, and each man caught a young one in his hand, all the young of the storks. They brought them into the desert and reared them by order of the king. They taught them to strike similar to the young hawks. And after the young storks were reared, the king ordered them to be hungry for 3 days, and all the people did so. On the 3rd day the king said to them, "Strengthen yourselves and become courageous men. Put on each man his armor and gird on his sword, and each man ride his horse, and take his young stork in his hand. and we will rise up and fight against the city at the place where the serpents are. And all the people did as the king had ordered. And each man took his young one in his hand, and they went away. When they came to the place of the serpents, the king said to them, Send forth each man his young stork on the serpents. And they sent forth each man his young stork at the king's order. And the young stork ran on the serpents, and they devoured them all, and destroyed them out of that place. When the king and people had seen that all the serpents were destroyed in that place, all the people sent up a great shout. And they approached and fought against the city, and took and subdued it, and they entered the city. There died on that day 1,100 men of the people of the city, all that inhabited the city, but of the people besieging it, not one died. So all the children of Cush each went to his home, to his wife and children, and to all that belonged to him. And Balaam the magician, when he saw that the city was taken, opened the gate, and he and his 2 sons and 8 brothers fled and returned to Egypt to Pharaoh, king of Egypt. They are the sorcerers and magicians who are mentioned in the book of the law, standing against Moses when the Elohim brought the plagues on Egypt. That's an important little piece, a little nugget there, because when Aaron and Moshe approached Pharaoh to let the children of Israel go, Aaron threw his rod on the ground, and it turned into a serpent. And the 2 magicians that were advising Pharaoh did the same. And Aaron's serpent, his rod, ate their serpents, their rods, and then turned back into a rod when Aaron picked it up in his hand, or when Moshe picked it up in his hand. So now you know who those 2 magicians were in Exodus. Interesting, huh? Balaam of Beor's sons. All right, let's continue on. Verse 30. So Moses took the city by his wisdom, and the children of Cush placed him on the throne instead of Kikianus, king of Cush. They placed the royal crown on his head, and they gave him a wife, Adonah, the Cushite queen, wife of Kikianus. Moses feared the Elohim, Yahuwah, of his fathers, so that he came not to her, nor did he turn his eyes to her. He didn't marry her. For Moses remembered how Abraham had made his servant Eleazar swear, saying to him, You shall not take a woman from the daughters of Canaan for my son Isaac. Also, what Isaac did when Jacob had fled from his brother, when he commanded him, saying, You shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan, nor make alliance with any of the children of Ham. For the Elohim, Yahuwah, gave Ham, the son of Noah, and his children, and all his descendants as slaves to the children of Shem, and to the children of Japheth, and to their descendants after them for slaves forever. Therefore Moses turned not his heart nor his eyes to the wife of Kikianus all the days that he reigned over Cush. Moses feared Yahuwah his Elohim all his life, and Moses walked before the Elohim in truth with all his heart and soul. He turned not from the right way all the days of his life. He declined not from the way either to the right or to the left, in which Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had walked. Moses strengthened himself in the kingdom of the children of Cush. He guided the children of Cush with his usual wisdom, and Moses prospered in his kingdom. At that time, Aram and the children of the east heard that Kikianus, king of Cush, had died. So Aram and the children of the east rebelled against Cush in those days. Moses gathered all the children of Cush, a people very mighty, about 30,000 men, and he went forth to fight with Aram and the children of the east. They went at first to the children of the east, and when the children of the east heard their report, they went to meet them, and engaged in battle with them. And the war was severe against the children of the east. So the Elohim gave all the children of the east into the hand of Moses. About 300 men fell down slain. All the children of the east turned back and retreated. So Moses and the children of Cush followed them and subdued them, and put a tax on them, and was their custom. So Moses and all the people with him passed from there to the land of Aram for battle. And the people of Aram also went to meet them. They fought against them, and the Elohim delivered them into the hand of Moses. And many of the men of Aram fell down wounded. Aram also was subdued by Moses and the people of Cush, and also gave their usual tax. And Moses brought Aram and the children of the east under subjection to the children of Cush. Moses and all the people who were with him turned to the land of Cush. Moses strengthened himself in the kingdom of the children of Cush, and the Elohim was with him, and all the children of Cush were afraid of him. Chapter 74. In the end of years, Saul, the king of Edom, died, and Baal-Shannon, the son of Achbor, reigned in his place. In the 16th year of the reign of Moses over Cush, Baal-Shannon, the son of Achbor, reigned in the land of Edom over all the children of Edom for 38 years. In his days, Moab rebelled against the power of Edom, having been under Edom since the days of Hadad, the son of Bedad, who struck them in Midian, and brought Moab under subjection to Edom. And when Baal-Shannon, the son of Achbor, reigned over Edom, all the children of Moab withdrew their alliance from Edom. Agnes, king of Africa, died in those days, and Asdrubal, his son, reigned in his stead. And in those days Janus, king of the children of Shittim, died, and they buried him in his temple, which he had built for himself in the plain of Canpea for a residence. Latinus reigned in his stead. In the 22nd year of the reign of Moses over the children of Cush, Latinus reigned over the children of Shittim 45 years. And he also built for himself a great and mighty tower. He built therein an elegant temple for his residence to conduct his government as was the custom. In the 3rd year of his reign he caused an announcement to be made to all his skillful men, who made many ships for him. And Latinus assembled all his forces, and they came in ships, and went there to fight with Asdrubal, son of Agnes, king of Africa. They came to Africa and engaged in battle with Asdrubal and his army. And Latinus won over Asdrubal, and Latinus took from Asdrubal the aqueduct which his father had brought from the children of Shittim, when he took Janus, the daughter of Uzai, for a wife. So Latinus overthrew the bridge of the aqueduct and struck the whole army of Asdrubal a severe blow. The remaining strong men of Asdrubal strengthened themselves, and their hearts were filled with envy. They courted death, and again engaged in battle with Latinus, the king of Shittim. The battle was severe on all the men of Africa, and they all fell wounded before Latinus and his people, and Asdrubal the king also fell in that battle. The king Asdrubal had a very beautiful daughter, whose name was Ushpenazah, and all the men of Africa embroidered her likeness on their garments on account of her great beauty and attractive appearance. The men of Latinus saw Ushpenazah, the daughter of Asdrubal, and praised her to Latinus their king. And Latinus ordered her to be brought to him. Latinus took Ushpenazah for a wife, and he turned back on his way to Shittim. It was after the death of Asdrubal, son of Agnes, when Latinus had turned back to his land from the battle, that all the inhabitants of Africa rose up and took Annabel, the son of Agnes, the younger brother of Asdrubal, and made him king instead of his brother over the whole land of Africa. And when he reigned, he resolved to go to Shittim to fight with the children of Shittim, to avenge the cause of Asdrubal his brother, and the cause of the inhabitants of Africa. And he did so. He made many ships, and he came there with his whole army, and he went to Shittim. So Anabal fought with the children of Shittim, and the children of Shittim fell wounded before Anabal and his army, and Anabal avenged his brother's cause. And Anabal continued the war for 18 years with the children of Shittim. And Anabal lived in the land of Shittim and encamped there for a long time. And Anabal struck the children of Shittim very severely, and he killed their great men and princes, and the rest of the people he struck, about 80,000 men. And at the end of days and years, Anabal returned to his land of Africa, and he reigned securely in the place of Asdrubal his brother. Chapter 75. At that time, in the 180th year of the Israelites going down into Egypt, there went forth from Egypt courageous men, 30,000 on foot, from the children of Israel, who were all of the tribes of Joseph, of the children of Ephraim, the son of Joseph. For they said the period was completed, which the Elohim had appointed to the children of Israel in the times of old, which he had spoken to Abraham. And these men prepared themselves, and each man put his sword at his side, and every man his armor on him, and they trusted to their strength. They went out together from Egypt with a mighty hand. But they brought no provision for the road, only silver and gold. Not even did they bring bread for that day in their hands, for they thought of getting their provisions for pay from the Philistines. If not, they would take it by force. These men were very mighty and bold men. One man could persuade 1,000, and two could rout 10,000. So they trusted their strength and went together as they were. They directed their course toward the land of Gath, and they went down and found the shepherds of Gath feeding the cattle of the children of Gath. They said to the shepherds, "Give us some of the sheep for pay that we might eat, for we are hungry. We have eaten no bread this day." And the shepherds said, "Are they our sheep or cattle that we should give them to you even for pay?" So the children of Ephraim approached to take them by force. And the shepherds of Gath shouted over them, so their cries were heard at a distance. All the children of Gath went out to them. When the children of Gath saw the evil doings of the children of Ephraim, they returned and assembled the men of Gath. They put on each man his armor, and came forth to the children of Ephraim for battle. And they engaged with them in the valley of Gath, and the battle was severe. They struck from each other a great many on that day. And on the second day the children of Gath sent to all the cities of the Philistines that they should come to their help, saying, "Come up to us and help us, that we may strike the children of Ephraim, who have come forth from Egypt to take our cattle, and to fight against us without cause." And the souls of the children of Ephraim were exhausted with hunger and thirst, for they had eaten no bread for 3 days. 40,000 men went out from the city of the Philistines to the assistance of the men of Gath. These men were engaged in battle with the children of Ephraim, and the Elohim delivered the children of Ephraim into the hands of the Philistines. They struck all the children of Ephraim all who had gone forth from Egypt. None were remaining but 10 men who had run away from the engagement. This evil was from the Elohim against the children of Ephraim, for they went contrary to the word of the Elohim in going forth from Egypt before the period had arrived, which the Elohim in the days of old had appointed to Israel. And of the Philistines also there fell a great many, about 20,000 men, and their brothers carried them and buried them in their cities. And the slain of the children of Ephraim remained forsaken in the valley of Gath for many days and years, and were not brought to burial, and the valley was filled with men's bones. The men who had escaped from the battle came to Egypt, and told all the children of Israel all that had happened to them. Their father Ephraim mourned over them for many days, and his brothers came to console him. And he came to his wife, and she gave birth to a son, and he called his name Beriah, for she was unfortunate in his house. That's the end of chapter 75. Okay. I guess Moses is the king of Cush, and he's fighting with all kinds of people, Africa and Gath and all kinds of stuff, and the children of the east, and then we've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on with Ephraim fighting Gath, and there's, wow, a lot of battles going on, huh? But it's interesting how it's said in there about how Balaam of Beor, his sons, were the magicians in the court of Pharaoh. That kind of connects the dot there, huh? If it's true, if it's real, that connects the dot there. So I find that to be interesting. All right, gang. That was kind of a quickie tonight, huh? There's a lot going on there. A lot of coloring, using them crayons. I hope y'all are enjoying this reading. I am. It's very enjoyable, and we're going to get to a point here where we're going to reach the Exodus eventually. And then we'll see what happens, how close we get to following alongside the Bible. Because right now we're way off in left field. Nothing of this is mentioned in the Bible at all. But it's interesting. It's interesting, and to see old Balaam of Beor in the picture with his sons, yeah. And to see that Moshe, is the king of Cush. Okay then. All right. Well, that's all I've got for you. Y'all have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on Shabbat for our next Bible study. Okay? Yeah, and that's really going to be good. That's the book of Joshua. All right, gang. So, y'all have a great night, and we will see you on Shabbat. Shalom.